No, I think it has been so in 2012, but that was mainly because there was a huge demand from the Swedish pension funds to deploy capital, and all of a sudden there was a big supply of core properties because two pension funds needed to sell for various reasons. And today I think so it's very competitive in the city center. And unfortunately, I think some investors have been scared because there are talks about yields of 4.75, 4.5 in some deals. But then we are talking about a handful of properties, and that doesn't represent the market. We are selling something now in central part of Stockholm, long-term lease, and it's like 5.6, 5.7. So the yields are slightly high, just if you leave those absolute core properties. So I think there's room for more investors in that segment. I don't think the Swedish investors will be that aggressive in the years to come. They will be aggressive or active, but maybe not as active as they have been, the pension funds. I also think that is something to be made in the more value-add segments. Now the financing is opening up, is much more easy, and we will see investors going in that direction.
If you leave the sweet spot for the Swedish institutions, you see a 100 basis point rise in yields right away. And I mean, secondary, I don't know what you mean really by secondary. It can be really good products in good locations with very little vacancies. You can probably see some rent potential. Gothenburg, for instance, is probably regarded as a secondary city, even though I'm happy there is no from Gothenburg here, though. But there we see the Gothenburg market is outperforming the Stockholm market, where we actually see some rental growth. And same thing there, if you go in the middle of the CBD, yes, yields are extremely sharp, but if you just get out of that 2 or 3 blocks, you can probably see some really interesting potential. And we actually acquired a building in just prime location of CBD in Gothenburg for REEF, one of the special funds. So it is possible to compete with the local investors, although it's very difficult in just the core areas. But if you get out, I think there's a lot of opportunities.
I mean, we have several funds investing in the Nordic region. Some core, some are core plus, some are a little bit more value add. To be fairly honest, in any market, you have to have local knowledge. You cannot fly in and fly out the same day. It's very important to have a local player to tell you exactly where to invest, which corner is the best corner. And it does vary, and I think you would agree with most of you being from London. Sometimes investors are coming in, they're buying something, and you would say, hang on a second, you could buy the one on the other corner, much better investment, but they may not know. It's very important to have the local knowledge, especially if you are going outside the CBD area, and actually also within the CBD area, because the local partner will know which offices are actually, talking about moving out, because we already know in the CBD area in both Stockholm and Helsinki and Oslo and Copenhagen, which of the main tenants there are actually now in the market starting to, inquire about what can be built for them elsewhere in those cities, or some of them are already building. So these things are very, very important when you look at not only value add, but actually also core.